My name is Sarah Mitchell, and I'm the Executive Director of UCOM Urban Serve. UCOM Urban Serve is our legal name. When we were first incorporated, it was an acronym, UCOM, that stands for United Community Outreach Ministry. It was founded by 5 local churches that went door to door, knocking on doors, asking what is it that people needed, how they could address the needs in the community more effectively and with cohesion. So we've grown from those 5 churches to, I think we're close to 62 now, 63. And we all work together to address the needs of people living with poverty. So we want seniors to stay independent and in their homes as long as they can. We provide Meals on Wheels that way and ancillary needs to people to meet those needs of someone staying independent and in their house. We also help with grocery assistance and food needs for anyone that wants to help with that line item in their budget. We help with raising people's earning potential with scholarships and quick certifications for them to have economic mobility and move up in the world. And we also have a new resource closet that we are working with Presbyterian Social Ministries as an amazing partner to help us get professional clothing to people who are trying to rise up their position and without incurring debt or stress that comes along with the rising themselves up. So UCOM started in South Jacksonville. If you think of the urban basin being divided by the rivers, we are south of the river. We try and stay east of the St. Johns River, and we help anyone just over 95 all the way down into Mandarin, close to St. John's. The reason we try and stay focused in one specific area is to be the experts of the culture in that area. We recognize that families that live on the north side experience different needs and than families on the south side, depending on the location of where your grocery stores are. If you are limited with your transportation or asset limited, the job market is different of what's available to you in your neighborhood. So we have always approached the ministry of UCOM as we're the neighbor with the cup of sugar when you need it. So while we will serve anybody that walks through our doors or calls us on the phone, we really are more the experts of South Jacksonville. So we try to network. Our strength is in South Jacksonville. When UCOM started, UCOM did have a clothing closet. And UCOM tried to meet all the basic needs. But I think in our 43 years of existence, you realize that you're not effective unless you become the expert in the field that you're trying to serve. And focusing on the capacity also of what you do. So the clothing closet went away in, I would say, the early 90s because inventory management is a challenge. We became the experts in food and inventory, and clothing we did not. And so we stopped that service, and people that we served, we would try to give resources and referrals to, but there was nothing consistent that we were able to really direct people to, other than clothing resale centers. But then there's a cost associated with that too. Right, so UCOM revisited what are all the needs, and we did a survey with all the clients that we serve, and clothing is one of the top 3 things that they said that they needed. And we noticed that we were getting more requests, and as we do budget counseling with our friends and neighbors too, that's a line item that we try to keep in their budget. And often high percentage of that budget line item went to professional clothing. There's an interesting culture that the clients that we serve feel like they have to look a certain way, they have to dress a certain way in order to be taken seriously. And in some workplaces, It's true, and it's not just a uniform. Although Presbyterian Social Ministries helps us with scrubs, because that is a specific uniform that is needed. All the other things, it's fashion, it's style, it's what's workforce appropriate for that specific area. And so the feeling of inadequacy and that insecurity that exists in somebody can cause them to overspend and to emotionally spend and blow their budget. And so we found that need. And so in our quick research, I was referred to Terry, and I had a tour at Presbyterian Social Ministries, and it was like opening the door to amazing opportunity and resource, because Presbyterian Social Ministries is the expert on inventory management that Neil, who I think is who puts in all the spreadsheets, he's able to share with me a spreadsheet of every single item you have available, including sizes and style. So as we are building capacity to better serve the clients, we're able to quickly shop the items we need through Presbyterian Social Ministry at no cost to us, at no cost to the people we're serving, and connect people to resources pretty quickly without us holding the overhead and the inventory management that we don't have capacity for. So with Presbyterian Social Ministry owning that piece, we can serve more people with greater impact and efficiency. Yeah, so with Presbyterian Social Ministries, we're still defining the best way to interface. I know that right now, as we're starting, we don't have the volume where I can go and get pallets of clothing. So the opportunity of being able to send a volunteer who knows exactly what we need with a shopping list to go and pick out those items, or we can best anticipate who is going to be coming through our doors and their needs and have a selection of those items, and then to go back. So right now we have it set up where we go to Presbyterian Social Ministries weekly, and we're able to restock those high items of professional clothing. And then we're able to have that here for the people to shop, like a professional clothing boutique. And then we give them 3 to 5 outfits that they can try on here, use, and take. We are fortunate that Presbyterian Social Ministries also has shoes and accessories. So for women that want to feel successful and empowered, accessories are big too. So we love that we have this relationship with Presbyterian Social Ministries to meet very specific needs in fashion, that in dignity, that people get to pick what they like. Right now we'll go once a week with a shopping list. Primarily it's scrubs for our certified nursing assistants, phlebotomy students, healthcare workers that can't afford. I think right now the cheapest place is Walmart. It's $15 a top, $15 a bottom. So that $30, and you need to buy at least 4 for the week, or your laundry bill is very expensive. So Neil sets aside scrubs for us. Again, those professional clothing, seasonal professional clothing also. More accessories when their purses wear out, when their shoes wear out. So right now it's once a week we're able to replenish and restock. So right now our resource closet is built around empowering the caregivers and the parents first. That if we honor and support them in what they do, then they make the choice on what is best for their kids. So we do not house and stock children's clothing. Instead, Presbyterian Social Ministries has already arranged a partnership with the Giving Closet Project. So we send referrals to them, and then the Giving Closet Project either brings those clothing to us or directly give it to the children through the school district. So again, the goal is to be efficient and effective with the lean business practice and the least amount of overhead is needed. So I know we operate that way. Presbyterian Social Services operates that way. So if they share and they hold the burden of inventory management, but access to that inventory, which is how we have it arranged right now, we're able to be most efficient and with most impact. So Presbyterian Social Ministry is the clothing bank, if you think of Fort Knox. So they hold all the resources, and we're able to go and just make a withdrawal of the clothing that we need. And like us, the Giving Closet Project makes their withdrawals, so we have a little overlap where we're able to make the referral to them and they draw from the same bank. But then it's a different clothing stream. So while we try to stay focused on supporting parents and adults, we still have that connection to be able to still provide that need, but not to, again, be efficient, effective. Because of Presbyterian Social Ministries, UCOM is able to hold our families with encouragement, cheerleading, accountability on debt to income ratio and budgeting. It's very difficult to ask a family to not spend without giving them an outlet or an opportunity to lower or to shift that budget item. So right now with clothing, if we're trying to save an extra $20 a month with our families and we're cheerleading them to do that, we love giving them opportunities to either replace that budget item with the goods and services they need, or find a very cheap and effective alternative to that. So because of Presbyterian Social Ministries, we're able to sometimes cross that item off their list and save an extra $100 instead of just $20. So as we work with families with asset building, so they have the opportunity to have a down payment for a car, put a little money away for college for a student, if they're saving up for better technology, for a Christmas present of a TV, all those things that, again, it's running your family like a business and developing where your important is and where your family's mission is. And if it's style and fashion, it's very hard to tell your teenage daughter or the mom that wants to look amazing when she goes to work, I'm sorry, I know this makes you feel good, but please don't spend that money, without having that opportunity of a substitute source. Yeah. So we can be graceful and effective and help them put the money where it's going to give them forward motion in life instead of consumable goods. We want our hair to look beautiful. We want our nails to be cared for. We want, the opportunity to put on makeup if that's what makes us feel empowered and beautiful and able to conquer the world as the breadwinner if we are. So again, honor and supporting those parents that are the caregivers, making sure they have the resources they need to manage their family business. And Presbyterian Social Ministries, we could not do that without them. They're making us more effective. So Meals on Wheels, we serve about 300 different individuals through the year, and the partnership with Presbyterian Social Ministries has given us Helix, reused and recycled, reclaimed products that have been returned. Of those products, we've received pillows, wedge pillows, and mattress toppers and protectors. That has been life-changing for some of our clients that are homebound, limited with their mobility. The mattress protectors, if they're dealing with incontinence or any kind of being a human need, has made their life easier, made their caretaker's life easier. Having the Helix pillows in a brand new pillow is dignity, and that is another life changer, especially when you need multiple pillows to avoid bed sores when you're trying to shift it in places to keep you from just lying on one side or on your back the whole day. And then the wedge pillows are game changers also. So with our friends that have COPD or any respiratory issues, it keeps them sitting upright, especially with COVID. We had one specific when we went and picked up, and I think we got maybe 15, a little more than 15 wedge pillows, and it felt like Santa Claus had gone and visited all of our clients at the celebration that we had, and seeing their life change. And the unique thing about the wedge pillows is the mattress, the cover comes off so they can launder it, which is unique. Again, our resource closet is just new, so I can count on my hands right now how many people we're serving through the clothing. The scrubs, we have a little more that we've been using Presbyterian Social Ministries with over the year. Same with Helix and the bedding. So I'm excited to be able to give numbers by 2022. Or the end of 2021. Right now, it's difficult to talk in numbers also, and quantifying. We like to shift the conversation more to qualifying, that it's the stories and the difference. So when we're able to rise up one family to be self-sufficient, it changes the social service landscape a little bit. So our goal is to be generous and efficient with one family at a time. And the more we're able to support them and get them no longer reliant on a monthly social service agency, then they're able to help their neighbors in need too. When kids grow out of clothes, they share it with their neighbors and their friends. And so UCOM has always been focused on that network. Our focus is neighbors helping neighbors, community members helping community members. When you run out your front door and you yell fire, fire, you're going to trust the neighbor and the people that come out of their doors and help you. And so to know your neighbor, to know their needs, and to be available as a resource. And it's amazing the amount of people that we have in our network that are clients. They're also the helpers to the other neighbors that are clients. So if they have a resource that they've been granted, they share that resource once they're done with it. So again, children clothing, professional clothing. We have moms that are going through maternity, and they pass the clothing on. So the story of giving out just one blouse and one pair of slacks for work, that story doesn't stop with just that one person it was gifted to or it was granted. So I love the idea that the clothing never finds its way to a recycling bin or a dumpster, but has life after life after life.
Yeah.
And so we do encourage that here at UCOM. A lot of our clients know each other and share those resources, and we encourage that. So UCOM serves a wide demographic, and we have a few clients that are differently abled, and one of our clients is wheelchair bound, and she has a hard time finding clothing that fits her, that is easy to take off and for bathrooming needs, all that stuff that goes along being a human that you don't realize you have to pay attention to until you're in that situation. So our volunteer was able to pick up clothing for her that had zipper access everywhere. So she's able to address those needs with dignity while she's at work. She works at the library, and she's one of our clients. And when we handed those clothes to her and she was showing us why all of that access was important, and we then spent time Googling how much that would have cost her, just those clothing. I think one was Anne Klein and one was New York, a New York line. We were laughing with appreciation together, that moment of her feeling cared for and taken care of and feeling like she won the lottery. Because she was given something that she wouldn't have been able to afford, and she wouldn't have even looked in that area. So it's often the clients that we serve make do with what is free and available and not having an opportunity of intentional choice. So that's one example. Another example is a mama who works as a teacher. And it's amazing the people we serve that are in the service industry that just make enough but don't make enough to really meet all their needs. And again, she just making enough, and the school changed her dress code. And so she couldn't wear jeans anymore, and she had to shift. In fact, there was a little more pressure for her to wear something a little more professional and elegant. It was in her annual review that they wanted her to dress a little nicer. And she didn't know where to start. I mean, she shops at Walmart when she can afford it. So being able to come here and look through the clothing and having a volunteer talk with her about fashion and what looks good and playing dress up together. So again, that opportunity of choice and selection and feeling cared for, that we're caring for the caregivers. Those are two moments that stand out where I think UCOM is positioned in a place where the stars have aligned, and Presbyterian Social Ministries is here to serve us as we serve, and it just makes a beautiful network of remembering people are people and we're caring for them. Yeah, without PSM, we would have gotten back into the clothing game at a much higher cost. So I would have, and I had already started seeking grant money or someone to found and fund the program. And I had already looked, the feasibility of running what we're trying to do would have been about $5,000 easily, not annually, $5,000 a quarter. So that is what Presbyterian Social Ministries is saving us. And now allowing us to leverage resources like volunteers and being also able to direct some of our donors with clothing to give to Presbyterian Social Ministries for them to handle that inventorying piece, what I would call overhead, that also lowers our line item and our end of day budget needs. So we're able to have more finances for scholarships, economic funding, food that I can't get donated, we're able to purchase, paying for people's cars to work again. So Presbyterian Social Ministries, without them, it would be a lot harder. It would be more money, and we wouldn't be as effective and efficient. We wouldn't have the wide array of resources. And speaking of that, we're excited coming up. We're working with Neil about a dance opportunity for students to have a closet for semi-formal and formal clothing. So often Presbyterian Social Ministries gets donated those clothing and they don't know what to do with it. And it just happened that Terry and I were talking about it and how amazing these kids that can't afford that clothing. And that's one of those, when you're a parent and you're a caregiver and you see an emotional impact of not being able to provide something for your kid, that's when we blow our budget and we spend emotionally. So giving these parents the opportunity to have a free resource like this, it's going to be a game changer. I'm so excited for it. So we're planning to do that this coming, I'm thinking late October or early November. When people donate to the banks, clothing bank, it directly impacts agencies like UCOM on not having to spend that money and that time and resource. So when Presbyterian Social Ministries gets funded, it directly impacts my bottom line to not have to raise as much money. So I would tell everyone, neighbors, friends, donors, volunteers, that giving to Presbyterian Social Ministry gives and extends your gift to many other agencies and organizations. And it's a powerful gift. It's an impactful gift.